Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you how I do my eyebrow routine using a bar of soap. So with this look, it's going to give you more of a natural, fluffy, feathery looking brow. I'm just going to walk over what you'll need. So obviously a bar of soap. You can use any soap you like. I prefer using a clear soap so that it doesn't show the residue on your brows. You're going to need a spoolie, an eyebrow brush. This one I'm using is by Anastasia. It is the 7B brush, and then a concealer brush. So the one I'm using here is the Morphe E11. It's an angled brush, synthetic, and this is what we're going to use to carve out the brows. And last but not least, you're going to need a brush to blend out that concealer. So this is my favorite one. This is the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush. I prefer doing my brows first before foundation, so that is why I barely have any makeup on right now. Oh, did I not mention my brow powder? This is the Urban Decay Naked 2 Naked Basics palette. We're going to use that color right there in a second. Let me zoom you guys in a bit. I recently just waxed my brows, so they're a bit more cleaned up. So I'm just going to brush this through. I'm just going to wet my spoolie with some water. Grab this soap right here. And we're just going to collect some soap onto the spoolie. I don't like to grab too much or else your brows will be too waxy, but just enough on there. What I'm going to do here is start brushing my brows upward. And this acts as a brow gel too, so it really holds your hair up in place. It makes it look a lot fuller. So yeah, after that I like to go over the top and just clean it up right there, or else you'll have like the Grinch looking eyebrows. So we're going to repeat the same on this eyebrow right here. It helps if you roll the spoolie to get the soap onto your brows. And what this soap does is that it helps create the shape so that you don't have to use so much eyebrow product. It helps you give that texturized brow look, you know, so it looks a bit more natural. So now that I've brushed up the hairs, you can see the shape that I'm working with right now. So what I'm going to do now is grab that eyebrow brush by Anastasia, go in with my brow powder. You can use a pencil or even a pomade for this, but I just prefer a powder. So we're going to take Primal from Naked 2 Basics. It's this cool tone brown color right here onto that brush, and just start filling in the shape of my brow. So I usually go from the bottom to draw a line here because that's where I don't have hair. I just draw a line on the bottom first to get the shape going, and then what I do now is I go on the top and do the same thing, but I don't start like right there. I go a bit further back so that I don't give myself those blocky brows. So just grabbing the product and filling it in, going in the direction of the hair growth. I like to go in with that clean spoolie and just kind of brush the product through to see where else I need to fill in the brow. So up at the arch right here, I like it to be more defined, so I'm putting more product there. So now that you have most of the brow filled in, we're going to start creating hair strokes. So I'm just flicking this upward now. But when we get to the front here, I barely have any hair in the front, so that's why I'm taking it in a little bit closer. I'm using a very light hand because you do not want sharpy looking brows. So yeah, just flicking the brush upward. So now moving on to this one, as you can see here, I have a lot of hair here, but not so right there. So what I'm gonna do is start halfway and draw a line as if my brows were actually existent there so that I can create the shape. I prefer this eyebrow over this one. I feel like everyone has a favorite eyebrow. Mine happens to be the left, so I'm just repeating the same process, underlining the shape on the bottom, in the tail, right here. Going in with the clean spoolie and brushing it upwards so that you can distribute the product. And the closer you get to the front, the lighter hand, or the lighter pressure you want to put onto the brush. So for concealer, I'm going to use my favorite for brows. This is the Anastasia 1.5 concealer. It's a pot concealer, super creamy. I'm going to grab that brush, the Morphe E11, and I'm just going to stamp it in there once because you don't want to grab too much. So I have this much on the brush right now, if you can see that. I'm going to warm it on my hand. I usually start carving it out on this side because I like this eyebrow better. And then with this, I can kind of maneuver the shape to make it look like this one more, so they're more symmetrical. So I'm just going to clean it up. And then I just bring it downward so that when we blend it, it's a lot easier to blend. I usually just take concealer all over my whole lid because it primes for eyeshadow anyway. I take the leftover and I carve out the top. And again, dragging that upward. I'm gonna grab that e.l.f. concealer brush and we're just gonna buff out the concealer. And you can see how this brow still looks fleeky, but it's natural, you know, compared to, because you can still see the hairs in there as if I were to naturally have full brows. So once I'm done blending this out, I started blending the front a bit on the top right there, so it gives me that gradient. Alright, so you can see the difference that the concealer made with this brow. Looks a lot more defined, yet still natural because you can see the hairs as opposed to this. Some people prefer not to carve out with concealer, but I just like that look and this is how I do my brows. So yeah, I'm just gonna finish off this brow and then I'll be right back. Alright, my loves, that is all to my eyebrow tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I finished up my makeup look while at it. Don't forget to follow me on all my socials. I'll have them linked down below. And to comment, like, and subscribe. And then I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!